You guys are pretty drunk?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot that ticket plus 2 going on, so you have no option. Yeah. Oh yeah, I am on! He said iOS 7? iOS 7. I am on. I am on. Whoever is that, Reese? Alright. Well, can you mute that, please? Alright. Hey Patrick, you here? Yeah, I got a Halloween costume recommendation for you, man. You know, you should totally be a vegetarian patty. You know, it suits your name, and there's a lot of vegetarians who like you. You know, so it kind of like suits pretty much. And I'm the second Indian on stage tonight, or let's put a second brown guy. And that guy you see is not authentic, right? I'm from India. I grew up from India. Like, you know, I know the basics. I know all the crazy kinds of shit we do, right? Like, he doesn't do any of that, right? Because he don't have a fucking option to do that. Like, you know, you can't beat other kids and run away and hide behind your mom and she protects you. That don't happen here. You're like, you go hit that kid, run back to your home, and your mom, who's raising you here, is gonna say like, you gotta say sorry to him. You gotta say sorry to him. You gotta apologize to him. I was like, fuck you. I don't want to apologize to him. That's why I hit him in the first place. I hit him because I don't like him. Now I'll rather go kill myself than apologize to him. Like, you know, parents in the house know this. Like, you know, have you ever told this? Like, go talk to some Indian parents. They never do that. They never do that. Even though in here, like, I think like he's 17, he's still young, you know, and that's all high schoolers ask them, no matter what culture they come from, you know. I've been in the US like for 4 years, and I wanted to change. Like, you know, the moment I landed in the United States, I knew this country was for me. I like the women in here, I like the beer in here, I like the freedom in here. I can do anything I want. I don't have my mom watching or yelling behind my ass. Right? So I started drinking from the day I landed. I have no home, nothing. I cashed my travel check to get a beer. That's the first thing I did. Really, that's the first thing I did. I want to drink as much as I want. And over the past 4 years, I've been to like a lot of places, and I kind of like want to switch over from my Indian side. I don't want to be that traditional Indian anymore. I want to fit in here. I want to fit in between you guys, like not literally, but the white thing. So I started like eating at McDonald's. I started eating at Denny's. Like, you know, I stopped going to Indian restaurants. It's like I don't like Indian spices anymore. And then I come to the Bay Area, and all I got is like, you know, I find some roommates who are like authentic Indians. Like, you know, my first roommate was that guy who made his wife pregnant and had her leave back to India to deliver a baby. I don't know. She wasn't there when I joined the room, and he said like, dude, my wife is out for like another 8 months, you can stay here. I was like, what kind of deal is this? What kind of deal is this? As soon as your wife comes back with 2 more tiny legs, I'm out of here? Yeah, that was kind of like late. And then like, he lost his job, like not because of me, but you know, things happen. And he moved back to Texas. So I had to like find another room in a week, and I was like, okay, so this time I'm not gonna live with any other Indian dudes or like hang out with any other Indian families. Right? Don't say that. I wanna find somebody else. So I started looking, I literally searched Craigslist like white people offering rooms. And like 4 searches later, I thought that was a terrible idea, and visiting 2 homes that smelled like shit. They were like complete white trash, like a couple people defined before. So I started looking, okay, let me like mix and match. Okay, so let me say, I'm still the same Indian, so I'm looking for something cheap. So I find this guy, and my roomies are awesome now. I join them, and like, you know, a couple days later, like, you know, my roomie offers like, hey, Harish, you wanna eat what I cooked tonight? I was like, yeah, give me, you know, free food. I'll take it anytime. And she gives me that, and she walks around and says like, oh, hold on, Harish, like that thing is spicy. I'm like, okay. And she walked away. She didn't wait for my answer. She just said the spicy thing and walked away. I was like, I switched to McDonald's and Denny's just to be the white guy, and now I'm being offered spicy food. I was like, I can handle it. I'm a man. So I ate it. I was fine. Until the next morning, I didn't know it was a battle waiting in the restroom for me that I wasn't prepared for. I wasn't prepared for that. It's been what? It's been 4 years, right? Right? And all the thing is like, you know, I was trying to be silent all the time so that my roomies doesn't hear what I was going through, like a live radio broadcast. I was like, oh! That was terrible. It was like, I was biting my finger, I was like, oh! I was like, I'm sorry, man, but I put you through this. I didn't want it to. I didn't know it. It was a late warning. Right? And I blame it all on the spices, right? I blame it all on the spices. Not like, I don't like Mexican. You look Mexican. You're Mexican, right? Yeah, you just look, yeah, go on. Go on. I'm going to meet you outside. Go on, yeah. All right. I'm not going to pick on Mexicans tonight, but...
Pick up Peruvians.
What is that?
Peruvians, pick up Peruvians.
Peruvian? Who's here? You?
Yeah, there you go.
There goes the man. All right, you guys eat spicy shit too. I know that. Yeah, you guys like. I'm not talking about like jalapenos or something. I'm talking about like pepper and cinnamon. Like going back to like pepper and cinnamon. These are the spices that India like was discovered. Like, you know, was known for the world. Like when like, you know, a Portuguese explorer like find a route to India and like, hey, he landed with ships over there, and then he was like, oh, welcome to India, sir. Like, you know, in the typical Indian voice, welcome to India. And then he was like, okay, that's good, but it smells different. My nose is burning, my eyes are burning, what's happening here? And then he gets introduced to the spices, right? So then can I taste it? He asks like a market guy there, like says like, can I taste it? I was like, yeah, he tastes it. I was like, oh, this thing is hot, this thing is burning my mouth. I was like, no, fuck you, motherfucker, fuck you, wife, fuck your bitch. And like everybody. And then like eating out, it's like seriously, I'm like telling you guys this, but I didn't know like how they even like conversated back then. He was a Portuguese guy, this was an Indian guy, a perfect no match. Like I don't know like how they fucking communicated. Let's just assume they talk in English, right? So he goes and says like, oh, like this and that, and the Indian guy gets pissed and is like, oh, you're gonna fuck my wife and my bitch too? Let me show what I can do. Let me show what I can do. So like, oh, why don't you come to dinner with us tonight? We're gonna offer you an authentic Indian dinner, like, you know, you never tasted before. So he accepted. He goes back home, and the next morning it's the same fucking sound I made, but it was coming from the back of the house. So his crew got confused. I was like, do you think he will survive? I was like, I don't know, man. He sounds like he's fucking giving a baby there. And then the guy says like, don't ever mess with the Indians, we're not even gonna touch you, but we're gonna put you through torture every morning. so this spices like goes a long way. And this is why the British like came to India for like trading. So they started trading and everything, but it was like a couple hundred years like after the Portuguese guy left. So we became smart. We became smart in trading. So when British came and said like, oh, we're gonna offer like $4 for this shit. I was like, no, 6. I was like, no, we're gonna offer 4. No, 6. They went on all day and said like, okay, let's stop this. Come back tomorrow and start dealing again. Meanwhile, why don't you come to our house for dinner tonight? So the 2 British guys went in, had a dinner. Next morning, they went to the market again, and he said 6. They gave 6. They said 8, he gave 8. And one of the guys noticed that like whatever they were saying, he was giving. So he was like, okay, so this is a British guy going like, I like this item a lot, like I want to buy it. So his face was turning red with all the excitement. So he was starting to turn into a tomato. like, you know, red. And the Marcus is like, dude, you want me to, like, you know, fuck up with this guy? So, yeah, go ahead. I was like, he's just like, hey, how much is this? Like, I am not going to sell you. I am not going to sell you. And I was like, why? Because you like it. So he says, like, you know, why you're not selling it? The other is like, dude, calm down. You know what they can do to us, so calm down. So he pays the money and he leaves. So, and the other part is, like, we Indians are used to ass washing. We don't wipe our asses, right? We wash our asses. I did ass washing for 20 fucking years, and I got tired. And the Britishers got tired of in 2 days. They were like, oh, we're in here. We're going to teach Indians how to wipe their asses. We're going to part our culture to them too. So they said, we need to find some paper. And I'm like, there's no paper here. So let's find some cloth. So they went to the market. They found some cloth, but that cloth came from somewhere else. So that is how they discovered cotton in India was like so good for wiping their asses, they whole took over to India. Yeah, that would be funny. Yeah. All right. I'm a big party guy, so it's like I've been like partying a lot these days. I was trying to find a perfect match for me. So I've been getting on this dating websites and everything, and then it just got like weird, you know. I got hit on by like fat bitches, like all the time. Like I'm not even like hitting on their profile. I'm not sending a message. They're just like, hey honey. I was like, oh, that was a nice message. Let me open up and see. And I was like, oh, blow it up. I was like, I don't want to sound rude in there, so I was like, okay, so what do you want to do? So, and she was like, oh, let's meet up for a beer or something, and then she fucking never showed up. So I was showing courtesy and she was showing attitude. So I quit, but I like it. Alright, that's it. I got my time tonight, so thanks all for coming out.